Good morning. Good morning. Hello, ladies, and welcome to the School of Business. Welcome. I know it is early, right? It's early. It's not our normal masterclass time, but I am here. It is early. I have another obligation actually at 12:30 today, or around 12:30 today. So I decided to go live early, so that I be sure that I am present for you and that I am helping you with your coaching business. Let me look at the comments because right now on this device I can't see them, but let me go check out on my other device. That way I can see the comments. So good morning again. Say good morning to me since it's morning. Again, we are going live much earlier today. Hey, Chelsea, good morning, honey. I was letting you ladies know that I'm going live much earlier today, this morning, because I have another obligation around 12:30, which is our normally masterclass time, but I did not want to leave you hanging and not have masterclass today. Now, here's the thing. I am not even feeling my best this morning. I was good earlier, and then like an hour or two ago, I started to feel really, really like sick. So I'm going to do my best today to coach you. And so just keep your girl in prayers. In prayer, if you have questions, if something isn't clear, if I need to repeat something, please let me know. I'm going to do my best again to coach you today, but just if there's something that's not clear, feel free, let me know what your question is or what your comment is or what you need clarity on, because this is your time and I want to make sure that you're getting what you need. For those of you who this may be your first time tuning in with me, you're like, hey, like it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, what's going on? I'm here early because, again, I have another obligation today, and so I'm going live a little bit early. But for those of you who've never met me before, my name is Portia Williams, and I'm also known as the Student Success Coach. And what I do is I help female educators. I help them build coaching businesses without leaving their love for students behind, so that they can make the money that they deserve, right? And so today I'm gonna talk a little bit about that today. But before we get into it, normally we do have class at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if this is your first time here, don't worry or stress. We don't normally meet at this time, but this is the time that I was able to come on and really coach you today, because I have something else to do. And so again, if you have any questions, you have any comments, let me know. I am here to help you. Before we get into today's live, I do want to make sure that I shout out a very special educator of this group, Miss Chelsea Gills. I wanted to shout you out today because whether you said, oh no, get some rest. After I finish doing what I have to do today, I am going to try to get me some rest. And so I wanted to shout you out, Chelsea. I wanted to shout you out because one thing that I love about you and having you a part of this school is that you always bring great value. I mean, you bring a lot of great value to the School of Business. And it means so much to me. I do know without you ladies, without you asking questions, without you being interactive, without you learning how to build your coaching business, without you enrolling into my program, without you signing up for without you signing up for professional development sessions, I have no business. And without having a business, it's not fun, it's just really not fun, because I know that I have so much to give. And so I wanted to take a moment to shout you out and let you know that I absolutely appreciate you for not only just showing up, but really, really showing out. And I wanted to let you know that I see your progress and I cannot wait to continue this journey with you. And I look forward to working with you in your business, honey. And so I wanted to shout you out this morning, all right, before we got started. And so let's get into today's masterclass, because I don't want to hold you long, because I do have to go, and I know you have to go as well and start your day or work or what have you. And so let's get into it. I don't know if you were able to see the title, but the title or the topic for today's masterclass is 4 hours max. 4 hours max. I know you're probably like, what in the world is 4 hours max? And so before we get into that, I want to let you know a little bit about me. And so when it comes to my business, I literally work from home. Like if I showed you like my camera, if I move my camera around, I'm literally sitting in the dining room of my home right now, right? I'm literally sitting here. It's what I like to call, I like the lighting in here. So this is my home office right here because I love the lighting here. It's perfect. But, and so I'm literally at home working from home, right? And so that's the first thing I wanted to share with you. I'm literally at home working from home on a Monday, even though it's a holiday, right? For many of you, I forgot it's a holiday. That's because I work from home. I don't even, it really doesn't often faze me when there's a major holiday, right? Because I'm already home. And so happy Martin Luther King Day. That's enough to talk about today. But just it being MLK Day, Martin Luther King, and what we celebrate him and what he's done for not only the United States, but the Black Americans and the African Americans that actually live here, like in the States. That's enough to talk about. But today I digress, and we're going to talk about this topic, and that's 4 hours max. And so what I was saying was I work from home, right? And I work from home, and not only do I love it, right, but I really, really enjoy working from home because I don't work a lot of hours. And that's another thing. Like when you think of building a business, you think of building a brand, many people think that building a business takes a lot of work. But I'm here to tell you that in my coaching business, I literally only work 4 hours max in my business a day. Max. I literally the other day, and I'll talk to you about it in a little while, but I timed myself how long I worked yesterday, and it was literally under 4 hours. It was actually like 2 hours and 38 minutes, and that was with me on a lunch break going back and forth to the bathroom because I've been drinking just so much water, like all of that. And so that was 2 hours less. That was like 2 hours and 38 minutes. But on the average, I will not work more than 4 hours a day, right? And so I really want to dig into that because it's important, if you've ever been at a place where, if you're an educator and you've ever thought like, I would love to work from home, and you would love to make your own hours, this is the masterclass that you really want to listen into. And so before we even get into that, let me know. I want you to, if you've ever like dreamed of just working from home, I want you to put the dream emoji in the comment section, right? Put the dream emoji, or let me know, like, yeah, that's me. I've always dreamed from working from home. And if you've ever desired to like make your own hours, like you want to work from home and make your own hours, you don't want to have to work all day, let me know. Put a heart, right? Put the heart emoji, blow me up some hearts, right? Just let me know. How about I blow myself up some hearts, since that was a good one, because I've always felt like that, right? I've always felt like that. Even from a little girl, and I kind of talked about that yesterday in the group, is that I always dreamed of like working for myself and working from home and making my own hours. And so if you've ever felt like that, drop some hearts in the comment section, drop some dream emojis in the comment section. And if you've always dreamed of that, like even from a little girl, find the little girl emoji and drop her too. Like, let me know how you felt about it, because for many of us, I know if you're here in this group, something in us have kind of thought, I would love to work from home, or I would just love to just make my own hours. I would teach, but if I could just teach 2 hours a day, I would, right? Or I would just love to like do what I love, work in education, but also work from my house, right? Let me know and drop some emojis, comment below, let me know. All right, let me read the comments. I'm starting to feel better already. I told y'all give me life over here at the School of Business. Y'all do. Y'all really do. Y'all give me life. Good morning. Thank you so much, because I love you too, girl. I'm very serious about education. Also, I'm excited when I come on to see how you're blessing both female educated experience and children generation. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Thank you, Chelsea. Yeah, so that's what I want to know. And I see your hearts, girl. That's what's up. All right, so we're going to get into that, and I'm going to help you a little bit, because if that's ever been like your dream, like you dream to work from home, right? You dream to make your own hours. You dream to work for yourself. I got something for you. I'm going to tell you what you can do in order to have that dream. But before we get into that, as I said, I work from home, y'all. I work from home. I'm right here literally. Today, I'm sitting in my dining room at home, working from home, and I'm not gonna work more than 4 hours today. I promise you that, right? And I'm gonna prove it to you in just a few. But before we get into that, I really want to talk about why it's important if that's ever been your dream. Because for me, I don't have to deal with like certain stressors that educators have to deal with some educators have to deal with in their careers right now. And so what I mean by that is, because I get to work from home, right? Because it's been my dream to work from home, and I do it. Because I've always decided to work for myself, and I do it. I really don't have to deal with like the stress of commuting like to school each morning. And so like if this was a regular school day and not a holiday, like many of us would already be on our way to school, if not at school. And I know for me, the last job that I had in education was so my last job was technically in Landover, in the same area. So Landover, which is about 40 minutes from where I live to Landover, Maryland, right? So that's about 40 minutes. That's not even including if it's traffic, right? And so 40 minutes just me getting from where I live to Landover, me not speeding, right? Me not sitting in traffic. That's just me getting there. And so I don't have to deal with that anymore. I really don't have to deal with that stress, right? And so for many of you, right, you may not drive, but you might have to get on the bus. You may have to get on the train to get to where you have to go. You may take a bus and a train, right, to get to where you go. And that commute is long. And so the thing that I love about working from home, right, and really working for myself is I don't have to deal with the stress of the traffic. I'm telling you, the stress of the traffic will make you want to quit in itself in education. Sitting in the traffic will give you an attitude and make you a nasty, angry educator on the way to work. Just sitting and dealing with people and sitting in traffic, and they're angry because they got to get up, go to work. You're mad because you got to get up, go to work. It in and of itself is really like a stressor, you know. You help me also with that idea at work. Yeah, it's a stressor in itself. And so that's one of the things that I just don't have to deal with. And I praise God for it, because I've been there where I'm looking to my left and my right while I'm sitting in traffic, and that's just one of the jobs that I work at. Because I worked at 2 jobs in the same area before I quit. But before that, my commute was crazy. It was like an hour and a half to get to work. Literally. Like an hour and a half to get to work, because I was working in DC at the time. And so I wasn't working like soon as you come into DC. I had to go through the city, literally on the other side, almost uptown DC, to go to work from all the way where I lived at, which is like an hour, 30, 40 minutes. And literally sitting in traffic and trying to get there, right, on a Monday morning, and it's not a holiday, you know. And so that's really, 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 really a issue. I was going through like one county through a district, right? And so that's a big thing, you know. And it's a lot of stress that can come with that. Wear and tear on your car, wear and tear on your body. You know, you're not getting enough rest or proper rest because you're waking up super early to beat the traffic. It's just so much, you know. And so that's one of the stressors that I'm just like, I'm so glad I work from home and I don't have to deal with that, because it's too much. right? And so one of the things that really, when I was preparing for the class, that actually stood out to me, when I was like, I think about the blessing of working from home and working for myself. One of the things that I really, really paid attention to was the attitude that I used to have, because I would work all day and then not have a lunch break. Like, I'm not a person that has to eat all the time. Like, I'm not a person that has to eat, but I could just tell when I was just irritated. Like, I just needed a moment, not necessarily to eat, but just to rest my brain. I mean, you go from hustle and bustle in the traffic, getting to school, then you got to do this, print papers, make sure you send out, electronic assignments, you got to do this, go to your mailbox, right? Check your mail, respond to parent emails, make sure you got all your materials ready for the lesson that you got to teach, right? All of that. And then you deal with the students all day until about 11, 12 o'clock. And then you don't even get a lunch break, because your brain is literally like, okay, now I need to prepare for the afternoon, right? Like, all right, I could just do this. Instead of eating, I could just prepare for the afternoon. And that's an issue. That's really, really an issue, because it can create like an attitude. You haven't even eaten all day. You had coffee. You haven't fed yourself at all. And that is a big issue, for so many educators, is they don't even have the proper time to get well nutrition during the day. They don't sit down, they don't eat, they're ripping, they're running, they're moving while they're eating, which isn't healthy. They don't sit down, right? They probably are still working or taking notes or doing something else while they're eating, which isn't good. And so it's just so much that comes with that, and that's something that stood out to me. I was thinking about that. I was like, just the attitude, right, that I had, because I didn't have time to just simply take something as simple as a lunch break, or my teacher planning period. I'm sitting there eating lunch then because I didn't eat lunch on my break. It's just craziness, right? And so that's one of the things. Another thing that I really wanted to discuss was one of the issues that I had working in education, is that I didn't get to spend a lot of quality time with the people that I really, really loved, and who really, really loved me. I say this, and it's kind of, it's not really funny, but one of my exes and I, one of our issues, I would say, one of our issues were that I was an educator, and so when I would get home from work, or when I would go to his house from work, I don't want to really do anything like that. He would be like, you want to go out to eat? I'm just like, no, I just prefer to eat Chipotle. Let's just get some Chipotle and come back in the house. And he's like, oh, you don't want to go out? You don't want to do anything? I'm like, nope. Friday nights, I'd be like, let's just chill and watch a movie. I don't feel like going nowhere. And he really wanted to go out. And so I think back to it, that was, some of the problem in our relationship, because I was just so overwhelmed, so stressed, and dealt with so much as an educator, and it could have taken a toll on our relationship, right? And so I just think about that example. And for many of you, you have families, right? You have children, you're a wife, right? For many of you, you aren't even spending quality time with your children. You aren't spending quality time with your kids. And that's a problem, you're not spending quality time with your man, and you're tired when you get off. You don't feel like working, you don't feel like spending, you just don't feel like the extra, of course you want to spend a little time with your family, but you really just want to go to bed, and so I felt that. I would literally come home from work and just lesson plan and go to bed. And he's like, you want to watch a movie? You want to go out to eat? I'm like, nah, I don't feel like doing that. I just want to go to sleep. And that just wasn't right. It just wasn't fair. And so I think about that. And another thing that really just I love now that I work for myself is that I get to make the money that I deserve. We go through all of that, right? We go through all of the the traveling to work, right? Traveling home from work. We don't eat lunch. So we barely eat lunch. We come in the house, eat lunch because we didn't eat lunch at school, right? You get home, you really don't want to be bothered with your man. You barely got time to help your kids with homework. All of that, and you don't even make the money you deserve. That's crazy, right? It's just they don't even pay you enough. And I really was tired of that. And so I love working for myself. I really get to make the money that I deserve. I call all the shots, okay? I say how much I make for what I'm worth and what I do. I do that. And it's a blessing, right? It's really a blessing. I don't do it boastfully, but it's really a blessing because I've learned that I can. I can. And I want to encourage you as well to know that you can. Like, if you desire to make your own hours, and you desire to work from home, and you desire to work for yourself, and you desire to be an entrepreneur, right? You can. And I suggest the best way to do that, the best way to work from home, and the best way to make your own hours, especially when you're a female educator, is to build a coaching business. And so later on, I'll tell you all of the benefits of it, right? I know you're like, okay, if I build it, like, what is that going to get me? But I want to give you clarity on what it is and how to do it, right? But I want you to keep that in mind. But before we get into that, remember I told you, right? I told you that Coach P spends less than 4 hours, right? Coach P spends less than 4 hours in her business each day. All right, and I'm about to prove it to you. Let me read the comment. Let me read some of the comments. Let's see. Two of my friends, the teacher, another one is a dean. They barely get a chance to eat. I would ask, well, on my work, I get them something, and they look exhausted. Yes. Oh my God. And on their break, they talk about how it's not enough time, and they're tired, and they don't spend with their quality. Exactly. And even witness some of them break down and cry. And it's a challenge, and we don't talk about it enough. We just go back the next day and do it all over again. And we're literally like breaking down. And it's good to have people like you, Chelsea, that are gonna be like, you good? Like, you good? And that's what I also love about you as well. And it's important that we help them, right? That we do help people like that, because they need support. We need each other. And that's why I love what I do, because I do get to support educators just like that and teach you that you don't have to deal with that. And if you're going to deal with that, I'm going to show you how to also make income, so that's the least of your worries, okay? And so let's get back to great. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so I want to let you know exactly how my schedule works, because I told you I work less than 4 hours a day in my business, and I'm grateful for it. This is how I do it, right? And so I'm gonna break the times down for you. So a masterclass. So I'm a little early today. I'm doing my masterclass early, but okay, masterclasses normally take me about 30. Y'all know I'm playing. Almost an hour. Once I get on here and I start going, it's like I could be up here for like 2 hours just coaching, right? And so, but my max normally, I set myself, Portia, do 30 minutes and get off, right? And let these educators go back to, applying the information you share. So 30 minutes is normally my max, but let's say an hour, because often, I did like a 45 hour minute masterclass. So let's just say an hour, right? So that's 1 hour, right? I have on Mondays, normally I have sessions on Mondays, so that's normally 45 minutes, right? That's normally give or take 45 minutes. And so let's just say 45 minutes there to an hour. Let's say 2 hours. So we're at 2 hours there. On Mondays, I always put my link from my Saturday school sessions. I go ahead and I update that into the program, so educators can have the link from Saturday school. So that's no more than like 10 minutes. That takes 10 minutes, right? Boom. That's 2 hours and 10 minutes. What else do I do on Mondays? That's it. That's literally it. That's all I do on Mondays. Do I have my schedule right here? Do I have my planner? I don't have my planner right here with me. But that's all I do on Mondays. That's it. That's 2 hours and what did I say? 2 hours and 10 minutes at max. I could let's say I have a session that's 2 hours. Let's say I have a session on Mondays with educators that take 2 hours, because once we get on and we start talking about our businesses, it could be a long time. Chelsea, you know, right? It could be a long time. Let's just say 2 hours. I'm still at only 3 hours and 10 minutes. And that's all that I'm going to do in my business. An hour masterclass. Let's say 2 hours on a PD session, one-on-one session with educators. That's what, 2 hours, 3 hours. And then I update Saturday school call to the program. That's 10 minutes. 3 hours and 10 minutes. That's less than 4 hours max. And so when I say that I work 4 hours in my business, that's it. Max each day. And each day does bring something different. Now, is it easy? Always easy? I mean, you do have to learn what we call in coaching funnels, right? What you should be doing and how you should be doing. And that's what my program is about. I teach that part. But other than that, I mean, it's nothing hard to do. It's nothing hard to do. It does take time. You do have to do it. Like, I can't just avoid not doing a masterclass, right? But it only takes me like 3 hours and 10 minutes. My work is going to take like 3 hours to 10 minutes max. I can eat lunch. I can go to the bathroom several times, because again, I can use the bathroom right now because I drink so much water. I mean, it literally, I'm less than 4 hours. I'm done for the day. Right? And so I wanted to make that clear for you all, because sometimes, you know, if you don't know, you're like, okay, I don't know the behind the scenes of it, right? I don't know what the behind the scenes of coaching looks like. Well, I just told you, right, what my behind the scenes look like. And it works for me, and I love it, because I'm not spending all day like just stressed out. And I'm still teaching and doing what I love. And so I wanted to do this today, and I really wanted to talk about that, because if you don't, right, if you aren't making your own hours, and if you don't work for yourself, and that's your desire, I really want to dig deep into what the issue actually becomes if you're not doing it. We talked about what it looks like at school, but I want to talk about what it looks like for you personally, right? And so one of the things that happens is when you aren't doing what you really, really want to do, and if you really aren't working from home and you aren't making your own hours, sometimes you're actually confining yourself. Most of the times, I would say, you stay confined to a system that you don't like. And so remember, I said I love what I do. I work less than 4 hours a day. I'm not stressed out, right? When you aren't working from home and doing what it is that you really desire to do, or really working for yourself, you can literally be confined to a system that you really don't like, right? You have to be told when to go to work, what time to be there. If class starts at 8:45, you know you need to be to work by 8 o'clock. But that's the system telling you what you have to do. And there's always going to be systems, right? There are always going to be systems. But I'm sure if it was up to you, you might want to show up at 10 o'clock. Have time to go to breakfast and then show up, right? You have time to date your man in the morning and then go to school, right? We get confined to systems and what somebody else sets for us when we're in education. You know, we do have to be there at a certain time. And, you know, if you teach high school, you got to be there way earlier, right? And so that's something I want you to think about. We get confined to systems, and we are told what we have to do. We got to create lesson plans that a lot of us feel like don't even make no sense, right? Because why do I keep telling you what my lessons plan are when you already know I'm behind? So I'm not going to be on for that week. So just forget it, right? I don't need to do it until I, get updated. Then get on top of the weeks that I missed, right? It's systems, right? You got to put in leave. People who could tell you, when you could take off and when you can't take off, right? About what and when. It's like, if I need to go to the doctor, I just don't need to put in leave. I need to go to a doctor for a reason. I just don't like to sit in the doctor's office. And so, unless you just like to sit in the doctor's office, there's people that love to go to the doctor, I mean, I go, but I don't love to go because people in there are sick. They ain't there to hang out. But that's just my philosophy. You know, that's one of the things I want you to think about. You know, you get confined to a system when you really aren't making your own hours and working for yourself, if that's what you really desire to do. And then another thing that really stood out to me as I was thinking about this was, you really aren't doing what you love, right? For many of you, if you would love to work from home and make your own hours, you probably aren't doing exactly what you love. Now, you might love to do what you're doing at home for yourself, and that's perfect, and I want you to keep that in mind. But if you prefer not to be in the building, or not to be at that office, or not to be working with those parents, or not to be working with those students, or not to be working with those educators, you probably aren't doing what you love, right? And so that's something I want you to think about. Another thing that really stood out to me as I was preparing, right? You won't be as healthy if you aren't making your own hours, or you aren't working for yourself as if you want to, right? You probably won't be as healthy as you would like to be. And so remember, I was talking about that stress earlier, right? The stress that comes with education, right? Not getting enough sleep, not taking time to eat. Those things, Chelsea made up a good point. She was talking about the young lady that literally is exhausted and literally break down, right? And they're tired, right? They don't get to spend quality time with their family. I talked about this last week. Do you know that affects your health? You know that affects your health? Stress, not getting to spend time with the people that you love can create stress. Just the whole pandemic in itself created a lot of stress for people because they were confined not to see people that they love. Grandparents couldn't see their grandkids. Like, who don't want to see their grandkids, okay? Even if they bad, you still want to see them, right? And I shouldn't say bad because I don't call kids bad. I said they're bad, you know? Like, you still want to see your grandkids, right? And I don't know why I say bad, because I don't like calling kids bad, because I don't believe kids are bad, but I say it for a figure of speech because kids can act bad. But yeah, you know, who doesn't want to see their grandkids? I'm not a bad grandchild, by the way. My grandmother loves me, I think, sometimes. You know, who doesn't want to see their grandkids, you know? And so when you think about just in general, the pandemic, it created a lot of stress for people. And so imagine that with educators, the stress of not spending time with your parents, or not spending time with your family, and you live right in the house with them, not spending time with your husband and he lays right next to you, not having quality time to work with your kids or help them with their homework because you're tired, because you've worked with all these other kids at school with their classwork all day, and you don't even have time for your kids, and you've helped somebody else's kids all day. 30, 40 of them, 50 of them, 120 of them for those of you who switch classes, you know? And so that's a big thing. It's really, really a big thing. And so as I was, you know, preparing for today's class, yes, it does. A lot of us look forward to the holidays and long breaks. Yeah. Because that's the only time that you get. And even that is unhealthy. You know, I mean, it's nothing wrong with planning and preparing yourself for a break. But the stress of having to go back. You can't even enjoy your break because half of your brain today is probably going to be thinking about tomorrow. So yesterday was cool because it was Sunday. And Saturday was cool because you knew you had a long weekend. But today it's like, I got to go back, you know? And so that's the issue, you know? And so, again, if you are anything like me, honey, and you're a female educator and you've dreamed of working from home, and you've dreamed of making your own hours, maybe you've dreamed of being an entrepreneur and building your own business, like, what would it be like if I built my own business? You know, what if I could just take what I do in education, right, and just work from home? Wouldn't that be great? And you really, really can. I do it. I told you I don't work no more than 4 hours a day max. And so you really can do it. And I suggest the best way is to do what I did, and that's to build a coaching business. And what I love about my coaching business and building coaching business and brands is that you really get to work with who you want to work with. And so if you're an educator, you get to work with whomever you want to work with. Parents, right? Teachers, other educators, right? Counselors, coaches, whoever you want to coach, you can. And that's what I love, right? You really get to apply your gifts and your talents, and you get to work with who you want to work with. You get to work with them how you want to work with them, right? The steps that you know is gonna work to help them achieve the success that they want, and then you get to make the money you deserve, honey. You get to call the big dollar shots around what you do, okay? And I love that, and I think it's such a blessing because you really get to put all your hard work and everything that you know and everything that you learn, you get to put it to use and also make an income that is going to really be a blessing to you so that you can go back and be a blessing to others, right? Boom. And so I suggest you build a coaching business, honey. If you want to work from home and you want to make your own hours and you would love to like just live your dream career, building a coaching business, if you're a female educator, is to me the best bet. It's a win-win-win all the way around. It is not always easy. Well, it takes work because it's easy when you know what you're doing, but it takes work, and the work is what really makes you a great coach, is if you're going to really put in the work. But it can be done, honey. It can be done. There are some things that you need to learn, but I'm telling you, if you teach, you can coach and build a business. I'm trying to tell you, you do it already. And so I just again, as I said, I've shared with you that I work 4 hours a day. I do not work hard at all. Honey, how can you stay beautiful if you work super hard? You just can't. You just can't stay. You just can't. Again, I told you that I don't work no more than 4 hours a day in my business. That's just that. And I love it because I get to work with who I want to. The who is female educators, right? I get to work when I want to, right? The win is on Mondays, right? For masterclass Mondays, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, right? I get to work. Well, today is 9:17, but you know what I'm saying. 12:30 Eastern Standard Time because we're early today. I get to do that. When I think about where I want to work, I'm literally right here in my dining room this morning working straight from my laptop, right? And if I want to, I can work from my phone. If I want to, I can work anywhere I want to go. I can go on vacation and I can work, right? I love that. I get to work how I want to. I get to teach female educators how to build their coaching businesses and how to make the money that they deserve. Like, that's what I love to do. Honey, I love it. And it's important because I don't have to work long. I work however long I want to, and that's 4 hours max a day. I'm not going over that for any reason. Honestly, let me tell you this. Often I go over only because I love what I do. So if I go over, remember the other day I was telling y'all I wanted to come and go on live on Sunday night? That would have been over my max, that would have took me, I probably wouldn't even met my max because on Sundays I don't do that much anyway. I'm telling you, I don't have to work long, but because of that, I be having so much energy and so much I want to share. And so if anything, I'll meet a 4 hour max if I pour it out as much as I wanted to every day. And so it's really a blessing because if I go over, it's because I wanted to, honey. And I'm really feeling like going over my 4 hours a day. And again, I told you it was we counted it up together. It was 3:10 that I worked today, that I'm going to work today. 3 hours and 10 minutes. The other day it was 2 hours and like 38 minutes. And I'm gonna post it in the group this week. I didn't work long at all because I timed myself. I wanted to know how long it takes me to do what I need to do, whatever day that was. That might have been like Wednesday or Thursday, probably Wednesday. And then lastly, I get to coach the female educators that I want to, again, like I said, how I want to and how I really want to. My main goal is to always teach them how they can make the money that they deserve, is because we work hard and we don't get paid, honey. We work hard and we don't get paid, and I want to show you how to get paid, honey. Get paid. All right. And so that wraps up today's class. I did want to make sure that you just remember, if you don't make if you at the point where you don't get to work for yourself, or you're not working for yourself, or you're not making your own hours, I really want you to consider, are you confined to a system? Are you confining yourself to a system that you really don't want to be in? Are you got to do what they tell you to do? Got to show up when they tell you to show up? Got to stay as long as they tell you to stay? Are you confined, right? Are you really doing what you love when you aren't working from home and making your own hours? Are you doing what you love where you are? And then lastly, I want you to think about your health. Are you healthy? Are you really, really healthy when you don't get to take your lunch break? You're breaking down in the middle of the day and you're stressed out and your blood pressure is high and you have to go to the doctor because you're sick. Is that what you want? And if you don't want that, and you've always dreamed of, just working from home or maybe working for yourself, making your own hours, I want to share with you that you can. I did it. I built my own coaching business working from home right here, sitting at the dining room table in my home. It is 9:30 in the morning, not because it's a holiday that I'm doing it. It's because I have something else that I have to do around 12:30, which is our normally masterclass time. I choose, and I'll put a pin in this, right? And so I choose a 12:30 because it works for me. It works for me. If you work from home, you can do what works for you, but you can't tell your supervisor at work what time you're going to teach. They done already told you what the schedule's going to be like, or the team that plans it told you what the schedule's going to be like. You may get some input to change it around, if it don't work, but how often does that happen? And so again, I want to, really encourage you, if you would love to work from home and you would love to make your own hours and you're a female educator, I suggest that you build a coaching business. That way you can work with who you want to, how you want to, when you want to, where you want to, and you can make as much money as you want to, okay? And that is really the gist of today's masterclass. If you are a female educator and you want to talk to me about how to build your coaching business, honey, I will show you how to do it. But we need to get on a call and we need to talk about what it is that you want, right? We need to know what it is that you want, who you want to work with, how you want to work with them. That way I can walk you step by step if I can help you build a coaching business, okay? And so again, if you want to get on the phone and talk to me, I'm going to drop the link to the professional development sessions in the comment section below. Click on the link and get you a session, right? I do not have a lot of sessions this week. Again, that's the blessing of working from home and working for yourself and making your own hours. You don't have to be stressed out and work all week, but make sure you click on the link because I don't have a lot of space, but I will make time for you. If you are serious and you're ready and you really want to build a coaching business, honey, I got you. Okay. Ask Chels, I got you. Ask Chels, I got you. All right. So that wraps up today's class. I know it's early, and go back and watch. If you're just tuning in, go back and watch the replay. I know it's 9:30 in the morning, but Coach has something to do at 12. And so, yeah, I feel much better as well. Y'all know I wasn't feeling good when I got on here, but now I feel good. And so I love you all, and I cannot wait to see and speak to you all soon. Bye-bye. And if you got any questions, you can ask, right? All right, bye.